the Martial Arts Movie Podcast.
I threw that shit before I walked in the room.
Featuring drunken Thai boxer, Will.
Too bad you will die.
The also drunken wrestler, Mark.
I said I don't want trouble.
And drunken karate master, Zero.
You've lost your balls.
And now,
Call. I know Kung Fu. You know, baby.
Fists of Fail.
Chris Farley is a big inspiration for Kevin James. Kevin James, in real life, is a legitimate mixed martial artist. So we gotta cover a Kevin James film one day since we're
No, he's not. Is he really?
Yeah.
I know he got into it for that role.
No,
for
but
the
he's
movie,
legit.
but he was actually
No, I think in real life, like recreationally.
oh,
he does.
well, recreationally.
Yep.
Okay.
But he's like legit. You don't want to mess with him.
right.
Like we're gonna shit on his movies, and he's gonna come to our house and beat the shit out of us.
Right.
He's quick.
He was King of Queens.
And he's pretty quick for a heavy set guy.
Kevin James or Chris Farley?
Both.
Both, yeah. Once you see this movie, sure, you can kind of make fun of the fact that Chris Farley is a larger guy, but you're seeing him do all his stunts in this movie.
Yeah,
It's like cocaine.
Not,
I would say stunts.
some
It was
some of the stunts, some of the physical comedy you can call stunts because he's like,
but he's actually doing it.
yeah, that's where it's kind of fun. And what are we talking about today, Will?
Oh God. I'm the fucking odd man out here. We're talking about Beverly Hills Ninja. Happy New Year's, by the way, you guys. To start off the new year right, we're gonna really buckle down and talk about martial arts movies.
Yeah.
Seriously. So
Seriously.
we started with Beverly Hills Ninja.
Oh man, I didn't realize this is supposed to come out after New Year's.
Well,
way to start off 2020 right.
oh God, we're gonna do Ong Bak soon, so you don't have to worry about that. But oh yeah, spoiler alert, we're gonna finally talk about something that's good. But again, as I was saying before, I'm the odd man out here because I am the only one here who doesn't have any nostalgia for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't grow up with it.
Right.
Like I said,
If you think I'm
Preface
basing this
before.
all on nostalgia,
you're dead. No, fuck you. No, there's no
See,
way.
I'm actually in the same boat. Like so I think Mark and I are in a similar boat where we grew up watching this a lot when we were younger. Like for me, it was always on when I was in high school. So my friends and I watched it a lot. And yeah, I liked it. I liked Chris Farley's early movies. I thought this was fun, although I knew it was, it's silly. But I haven't seen it since high school. So going back and watching this, I was a little worried, as with all things that you go back and watch.
Right.
For me, I thought Chris Rock was in it more. I
Mhm.
remember him in it more when I was younger, but he's actually not really in it.
Well, he's
at all.
not supposed to be in it. Chris Farley himself was like, I'll only do this movie if you have Chris Rock in it.
Mhm.
That's you can sense that Chris Rock's character wasn't supposed to be in the movie.
Yeah, he's kind of this weird sidekick to him. And then I kind of thought that Robin Show,
yeah.
Mhm.
I thought his character was in it a little more too, but he's actually not in it as that much as well.
Who's Robin Show again?
Oh, you mean Liu Kang?
Who's Liu Kang? I was talking about the brother of Chun Li in Street Fighter Legend of Chun Li.
You mean the pirate from Dead or Alive?
Yeah. No, but Robin Show is in the movie. Did you know there's another Mortal Kombat alum in this movie? Not alum, I guess, because it predates. Wait, this predates Mortal Kombat, right?
This movie?
Yeah.
I
I don't know how many Robin Show movies there are.
Post dates it because it came after Mortal Kombat.
Oh, okay. So that doesn't predate.
but I
okay.
don't know if it came
Mhm.
after or before Annihilation.
Mm.
I don't know where it came. in
Right.
that-
Oh,
in that
so
aspect.
since we're talking about Annihilation, the character Nobu,
Mhm.
his actor was Sub-Zero.
yeah,
And
I remember that.
yeah. That movie's fantastic too. We'll talk about that.
I
one
can't
day
wait
as well.
to talk about that one. But anyway,
I'm not letting you choose any more movies of this.
These are all fantastic.
yeah. But so, I was worried rewatching this, and I don't know if it's nostalgia. I don't know if I just have that good feeling about these kind of silly comedies, but I still enjoyed this movie. I very much understand. It's it's nothing highbrow. It's nothing very cleverly written. It's just kind of a silly, goofy martial art. Not even really martial arts movie. It's a comedy that happens to have martial arts written into the story.
A rom-com? Not only a...
What are you talking about?
It's not even a rom-com.
No,
Yeah, it's,
It's about finding the girl, and then it's also about brotherly love, and it's
I mean, you could say
So there's
that,
a
yeah.
love interest in the movie, and I feel like it was so palpable that woman had the actress and the character wanted nothing to do with Chris Farley. It was
yeah.
like every time there's like an uncomfortable scene where he wants to kiss her, like she's like, please, can we rewrite the script so I don't have to touch him?
Boy.
Oh man, you guys have that nostalgia for it, and I don't think you guys are acknowledging enough how much that's influencing.
No, but see, the thing is, like I said, like
credibility of this
I acknowledge the fact that I liked it a lot when I was younger. Rewatching it, I was still laughing at a lot of the stuff.
a lot of it.
I didn't think I would still find that stuff funny, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I would say it's nostalgic. I think that is my preference because that's what I grew up with comedy wise. So I like that type of comedy.
Okay, so
Like I still enjoy physical comedy, which I don't see too much of anymore.
Right.
And when I was younger, Chris Farley was doing a lot of that.
right,
Because I grew up watching his films too.
Chris Farley is considered like the king of physical comedy for the most part, right?
Yeah, I mean, not the king. I mean, he unfortunately passed away.
That same year.
Not too long into his career. I would say Jim Carrey kind of did more physical comedy.
Yeah,
That's true.
And then after,
physical as in like slapsticky kind of like not self-deprecating, but like hurting himself kind of thing.
Right. I mean, Chris Farley was all about that, using his body,
Yeah.
like literally throwing himself around and being self-deprecating at the same time. I guess I don't know too many comedians that do it like that. I would say Kevin James, but I don't think he's self-deprecating.
no.
I don't think
No,
he's
of course,
self-deprecating.
I would say that Kevin James is a direct his direct inspiration is Chris Farley.
Yeah, but
I've seen a lot more Kevin James movies.
Right. But I'm
I don't
saying,
know what
like,
the hell's wrong with me.
well, what I'm saying is, like, I don't think he's using his body kind of and making fun of himself in that aspect. I think he's just kind of the big guy, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
I can't attest because I haven't seen many of his films, so that's what I'm kind of asking.
I've seen The Zookeeper, and that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm just going to stop here.
Okay, so we're talking about Beverly Hills Ninja.
Right.
Will, what is this movie about? What is the plot?
It's about a white man who is supposed to be prophesized as the great white ninja, except he's terrible because he's fat and he's clumsy, and that's the whole movie. That's it. I just summed up the entire plot in 2 sentences. One sentence.
One sentence. Yeah.
He just doesn't have a talent
Look,
for it.
if you think I'm crazy for not liking this movie, you know who also didn't like the movie? Chris Farley. He was bawling when he watched the version of this.
Yeah,
film.
when I read that. Actually, I was kind of upset reading that.
Why?
Because I liked the movie.
Well,
And it's a shame that he didn't like it because it brought such joy to me, you know.
Yeah.
I can understand why he might be embarrassed by it because maybe, it's not what he wanted out of it,
Right.
but I liked it. I was fine with it.
can you compare it to the rest of his catalog of films? Like in terms of like, is this what I should expect to see when I watch a Chris Farley movie?
No.
I would say this is a little more like simpler.
So very simple.
But it feels very lowbrow.
Yes. In some regards, it's cheaper laughs, but regardless of it, the laughs continue to be pretty good, even like decades later. They hold up very well. And then, no, usually his other movies have a more serious tone to them. There's a little bit more drama. This is pure just comedy through and through.
They're a lot more like adult.
Yeah.
Because I think his other movies are rated R.
Yeah.
There's some elements of this movie that feels like it's conflicting with the comedy that they're going for, because it's almost pure slapstick, like 95% pure slapstick, right?
Yeah.
It's childish, but then there's some thrown sexual innuendos, not even innuendos. It's like literally titties in your face.
Yeah.
And it's like, this doesn't work for an audience, in my opinion.
I mean, we were talking about this earlier, but I kind of felt like it's like not a kid's movie, but it could be.
Yeah.
Because the comedy is so simple and it doesn't get too adult, maybe in like a few scenes. But it's not, it's not that serious. That's why I felt It's just kind of a kids film.
Well, I'm Asian, so the whole Asian demographics used to see very perverted things at a young age.
Yeah.
All right. So we decided on this movie because it was like democracy. We were like, let's talk about Beverly Hills Ninja for our martial arts movie podcast. I don't know how we can dissect the action, so I was considering let's talk about other elements in the movie. However, upon watching this movie several times in preparation for it, I kept realizing as soon as the credits were over, I'm like, I don't remember a single thing that I just watched.
Mm-hmm.
It's very hard for me to retain, and and as much as I shit on it right now, I don't actually feel too strongly about it. It's very forgettable to me.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I think because we saw it when we were younger, that's why it's just kind of sticking with us.
It resonates with you.
Yeah, I can see how this movie would be. You could watch it and just forget it because it's not doing anything special, really. One of the things that I noticed upon rewatching it was it's kind of doing the whole like the white savior story where there's this group of there's a minority group and then there's a prophecy about a white person who's going to come.
That storyline is so overplayed.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Dances with Wolves, Avatar,
but it's like literal to the point where everything's just about that.
Yes,
right.
I know.
But the thing that I liked about this is he's this prophesized great white ninja, but he's a complete buffoon. I was worried that this was just going to be Avatar. Like, hey, like I'm coming into these people and now I'm the leader of them. Because I'm a white guy. It almost seemed like that was the case. But no, the butt of the joke is he is a white guy and he's not able to do any of this stuff. He's a moron.
There are moments where I respected the movie for that, and then I feel like there are some moments of comedy that feel like it wasn't fully realized using that premise. I can't put my thumb on it, my finger on it. There's like little elements of the comedy or like the story elements where like they could have taken the whole buffoon thing and went full out, but then at the end, I don't know if I want to spoil this fucking movie, but at the end, I mean, what do you expect to see? He becomes like a ninja master.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, he becomes proficient out of nowhere.
No. He just becomes basically average.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's actually a good way of putting it. And he only does that because he's trying to protect his brother.
Yeah.
See,
through love, man. Through love, you grow.
At one moment, while you were listening to the soundtrack of this movie, and Kung Fu Fighting was playing, the most.
You mean the 10 times?
At which time are you talking about?
Which
it plays
remake?
a lot. It plays a lot.
There's a techno remix and a rock remix at the end.
Yeah, that song.
Yeah, but I mean, when you said it, you were like, "Oh, this reminds me of Kung Fu Panda," which is true. And then I thought about it, I'm like, this movie kind of is like Kung Fu Panda in many ways. Skadoosh, with the finger thingy as well. Like, all it takes is for him to get motivated at the end, and he discovers.
You're right. Yeah, this is kind of a.
You hear that, Jack Black? You're a fucking fraud.
Wait, this isn't Jack Black in the movie?
Yeah, no, like I was like, wow, this is basically what Kung Fu Panda is, except not nearly as good.
There aren't furry friends. It's like a really, really watered down version of
right. Any movie with furries, gets an A+ in my book.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's dive into let's dive into what other elements of the movie can we talk about?
Well, do you want to elaborate?
Comedy.
Do you want to elaborate a little bit more on the plot?
Oh God. I guess you guys are testing me because I'm the one who's the newbie with this film. So Chris Farley he's sent, or he's not sent. He kind of discovers this woman who tasks him with a mission to find out what her boyfriend's up to, and he goes on that mission. But the sensei doesn't fully trust him, and I feel like that's also conflicting because sometimes the sensei is like, I have full faith in you, and other moments he's like, "Come home, like I don't have any faith in you."
Yeah. Well, just to rewind a little bit, we should say that he is, he was an orphan boy found on the shores of this ninja school.
Yeah.
And they raised him pretty much just be a ninja. But the thing is, he didn't learn anything. He's just incompetent. And there's some fun ninja training moments, very, very brief, how he's just he's just constantly standing behind his brother, played by Robin Cho, and just hitting him over the head with the bow staff. It's silly, but I don't know. I kind of like that.
Well, I would say it's comparable with 36 Chambers. You know that.
Yeah, the whole montage of him growing up, learning.
All the comedy that I do appreciate of the movie, it comes from Robin Cho. Obviously, like, because Robin Cho's
because he's getting hurt all the time.
well,
Right.
basically, I mean, yeah, like it's funny because like Chris Farley's the one who you're like you should be laughing at because he's the one who's getting hurt most of the movie and screaming. That's like 90% of the movie.
Yeah,
It's just like well,
that's his thing.
of course. But then like Robin Cho, who isn't a comedic actor, like I found his more funny because he's just
He's
there by
the
circumstance.
straight man, and
Yeah.
he's getting hurt because of Chris Farley's incompetence.
Right. And just to wrap up that little element of the plot that I left out, Robin Cho is tasked secretly by the sensei to monitor Chris Farley to make sure that he doesn't fuck up. So he's basically doing his whole job for him.
Right. Yeah. And just to add one more note is he goes to America to help her out.
Yeah. And that's the movie, and I don't like it. I will say I definitely have biases, but like I'll be subjective and objective with this movie. Subjectively, I am not a fan of pure physical comedy. Like I can appreciate it.
It's hard to do.
Yeah, like when the movie's only just strictly physical comedy, I get tired of it immediately.
Well, there's really good ones out there. It's just about pure talent and how you carry yourself as an actor and how you do it. And in the case of Chris Farley, I think it translates very well, and he has this like persona when it comes to his presence in films. But if you're just doing physical stuff, like you said, it just doesn't work.
Different, maybe varying it up would have improved it a little bit. Just him getting hurt the entire movie. It doesn't really
Right.
doesn't work for me the entire time.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
That's kind of the extent of the comedy. It's him getting hurt, and that's the joke. Him just kind of getting hurt from
right. I like I wanted a little bit more variety with the kind of comedy because after a certain point, I was like, I'm so fucking tired of this. Like, stop telling the same joke. Same with like not verbal jokes. If you're telling the same kind of joke the entire time, like how many yo mama jokes can you tell? It's like
you'd be surprised. We can keep going.
101 ways.
That's my subjective opinion about pure physical comedy. Objectively, just don't like. I don't think this movie is constructed all too well.
Really?
I mean, it's very straightforward. What
It
else
is.
do you want with it? Because that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not. This feels like it's just a kids movie, or it's for teenagers. It's not something that's gonna make you think profoundly after.
Sure.
It's I don't want to say mindless, but it's just simple. It's like simple entertainment.
Yeah, simple is a good way to describe it.
I definitely wouldn't say it's mindless.
Yeah,
You're fully engaged throughout the whole film, and if you aren't, then you just don't like that kind of shit, I guess.
Yeah, okay, maybe it's more subjective than because I definitely wasn't.
But like for
into
an average viewer, you're gonna be engaged.
Okay, you two, you guys need to sway me and telling me the positives of this film because I am struggling. I'm pulling at straws here.
Robin Show.
Well, Robin Cho is actually like when he's actually in the film and the few fight scenes that we have, like he's actually showing off what he can do, and I kind of like that.
Music.
Okay, the music, yeah.
Oh man, the music is so on the nose in this movie.
Oh yeah,
it's.
I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning
Oh
Japanese.
god, anything relating to Asia, they have music related to it. They have ZZ Top when he's
Yeah.
dancing in the strip club.
Yeah, even when he was climbing this tree and he was swinging back and forth, like Tarzan Boy was playing.
Yeah. Oh man, I completely forgot about that song, and I immediately wrote it in my karaoke sing list. Once I heard, I was like, "Oh shit, I love this song."
I guess we're going to karaoke after this.
Racist Asian jokes?
Are there really that many? I don't
No,
think there are.
like subtly, just like
They're-
stupid ones.
You know what? I
like corny.
I will say for a '90s film, early '90s, right? Early '90s film. You kind of okay. I tried my best not to use the term cultural appropriation.
Mhm.
Who's culturally appropriating Asian? Asian.
But he's the
stuff.
white ninja.
No. For what I was expecting from an early '90s film is for it to be more insensitive than it actually is.
Yeah,
It's not as insensitive as I
it's-
thought it'd be.
I didn't think it was that
No.
bad actually.
It's
Like,
very self-conscious.
This is
Right.
me trying hard to just point out the bright thing, the
Right,
good things in the
Yeah,
film.
just
but
don't
I-
want to say anything nice about
right.
this.
I didn't because the thing is the butt of the whole gist of it is he's like an idiot. So anything he does is because he just doesn't understand or he doesn't know any better.
Mhm.
So it's kind of okay that he's doing these things because he's just dumb.
Yeah.
And I never felt offended or insulted by any of the stuff
yeah.
he was doing. Like it's all in. It doesn't feel like he's speaking down to anything.
Yeah.
In a weird way, there's like another extra layer where not only is he just an idiot or no talent, no skill whatsoever, but also just the fact that he's been kind of with these ninjas living in like a secluded area, and then all of a sudden he has to go to Beverly Hills. So there's kind of like that disconnect where you could kind of be like, huh, okay, well maybe he doesn't know this because of this. Like when he's going through the airport, you know,
Right. Oh,
metal
okay.
detectors.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
So there's the
There's
the
like
whole-
references to
the
that.
fish out of water. It's also like
Yeah.
a fish out
Yeah.
of water kind of stuff.
So it's not just like one thing. If it was just that one thing, you could be like, all right, that's stupid.
Mhm.
But it's multiple things, and it's
You
constant.
could have just stopped there. It's just stupid.
It's like an onion, just layers.
layers, man.
Why are we referencing Shrek?
It's a
Shrek
Jap-
was more of a martial arts movie than this. I'm not even kidding. I think there's more action in Shrek.
I disagree.
Let's talk about
So
okay,
next
all
week,
right. No.
Shrek.
Shrek the Third.
Oh god.
No. Okay. I want to talk about the action eventually because that's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna throw you guys an olive branch here.
Mhm.
I do like some parts of the comedy. Like it's not all misses for me. Like most of them for me were misses.
Okay,
You know-
so what worked for you?
The first 10% of the movie with the physical comedy worked, and then after that didn't work anymore because it was like it's the same fucking joke.
Yeah.
Stop getting
See,
hurt.
I get that. I completely do get that. So you liked maybe like the training montage sequence in the beginning when he.
I mean, okay, yeah, I liked it when Robin Show got hurt because they found new ways for him to get hurt. Whereas when Chris Farley gets hurt, I'm like, there's something about it that doesn't feel like varied up enough.
Yeah. Well, if you've seen one Chris Farley movie where he does like a comedy bit, it's kind of him doing that throughout other movies, kind of other sketches. Because if you watch SNL, one of his big things was him crashing on the table.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's yeah. See, like,
so
that's
that's
early on in the movie where I actually appreciated it. Like for when he was playing hide and seek and he ran around the facility. At first, I hated it. I was like, "This is so stupid." And then he has this good delivery when it comes to physical comedy. I'm not gonna take that away from him. Like, but again, it gets tiring when you see it over and over. But when he crashes through, he just runs across the dojo and just crashes through the doors. By the way, in real life, Chris Farley got seriously hurt because there was a metal rod or metal pillar on the other side of that door, but he crashes through it.
Oh god.
And it I know that he got seriously hurt from that, but I thought that was so funny.
But something that makes that scene is just you expect something else to happen, and then his spontaneity all of a sudden takes it just left turn out of nowhere. And then, like you said, that delivery after, like when he's standing in the doorway, kind of like,
Oh, see, that's the part I didn't like.
okay. But like, it's the spontaneity, the unexpected, and then just that delivery at the end that kind of rounds it out. Even if you're slightly uncomfortable, it's like, wait, what just happened? And then by the time you even process that, it's already like delivery time. You're like, ha, all right, that's awesome.
Okay, all right, sure. Well, in terms of the physical comedy, yeah, fine. That's I liked that at first, and I thought, okay, I can see why people like Chris Farley. After that, I was like, okay, that's just getting tiresome. You know, sitting through an hour and a half movie of this can be kind of, wears you down. Wears me down.
Yeah. Like there's only so many things he can crash through until you're not. It's the same joke.
Yeah.
For me in this movie, I feel like it's varied enough with him crashing through things and falling down.
He has Chris Rock as kind of like, the offset. You need two comedians to kind of, you can't have the same.
I feel like it's such a waste of Chris Rock.
No,
there are some moments of comedy I felt like it could have been explored a little bit more, but it was the Chris Farley show. So
yeah. Like I said earlier, I thought Chris Rock was in it more, and then when I rewatched it, I was like, oh, he's actually not in it that much.
Like when like for example, when they're in the hotel room, Chris Rock was like, oh, you're a ninja, and he says like, yeah, I practice the black arts, and I practice the blackest of black arts. And I was like, Chris Rock's in the fucking room, like there's a joke in there. I know there's a joke in there.
You missed the joke.
That is
like,
the joke.
He's like, oh, what color belt are you? He's like, oh, my belt
orange,
is
like tangerine.
No, Chris Rock said that's his color, and Chris Farley says, my belt is as black as black on a moonless night inside of a coffin. Or something.
No, but see, like the joke, and we're apparently a comedy podcast now. Like we critique jokes, but no, like I feel, well, it's Chris Rock's in the room. It's like fucking. He should have done some sort of commentary about like, what do you mean black?
No, that's the obvious.
No,
though.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, like we're talking lowbrow.
It's too because then it would be just those types of jokes all throughout the film.
Oh no! I'm not asking for that the whole film, but
but this is like innocently kind of straddling that line.
Yeah. See, like even throwing one joke in there, and obviously tweaking the content a little bit more to be less obvious in the way I just said it, would have just made the movie nothing, like more than just straight up Chris Farley's gonna get hurt now. I swear to God, if I make a compilation video after this of Chris Farley screaming or getting hurt, it'll be like 20 minutes.
You wouldn't be the first. I'm sure there's lots of compilations of him crashing. Yeah. But see, the thing is though, at least the movie keeps it in line. Like they don't make it about race. Everything is at least related to something ninja.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, the whole reason why I got into this was because I wanted to point out the comedy that does work, right? And you guys obviously would be more forgiving than I would be.
Mhm.
I like, I like some of the stuff, like when Robin Show is disguised as a woman and they take off his wig, and he looks so upset, and like it looks exactly the same.
They take off his wig and he has the same length hair on. It's like, why did he even wear a wig?
Right. And then there's unintentional comedy in the so I guess this is, maybe we can segue into the action now.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of action in this movie.
There really isn't. So we can kind of just
phrase it. We have the intro scene, which is a montage of him kind of learning the ways of the ninja, which, it's silly. There's lots of small little jokes here and there.
Yeah.
But then our first real fight is he's going to kind of eavesdrop on the love interest's boyfriend to get information from him. And he disguises himself as like a Benihana chef. I don't know what you would call that area where you're it's in a Benihana restaurant where you have this large grill, you're cooking
just call it a station, I guess, right?
Yeah, you're at a station,
the hibachi grill.
Hibachi grills, thank you. Yes, so he's an hibachi chef.
Excuse me, I didn't know you knew Japanese.
Well, I do.
And he's basically incompetently trying to cook food, and he keeps on looking to his right at how the real chefs are cooking, and he's just completely fucking it up. I don't know. I know you don't like this stuff. I had a blast watching this.
Oh God. Sure. Okay. Well, well, in this particular scene, like that's where the whole Robin show wig thing, like we mentioned before, happens. But once a all-out brawl happens, because there's like this is like the plot elements that don't that don't matter, but they actually do for the story. Like the villain also has like competing gangs who are also vying for the money. There's a counterfeiting, like money counterfeiting
Yeah.
thing going on in this whole movie. But the rival gang sends henchmen, and Chris Farley's inadvertently killing them.
Yeah. So the rival gang is trying to take out the love interest boyfriend.
Right. Did you notice in this one scene where, because Robin Show gets de-wigged
Yeah.
and he still has a head full of hair,
Mhm.
they're doing an all-out brawl, and Robin Show kicks a guy onto a hibachi grill, onto his back, and then he grabs the vent from above and pulls it down. You can see the top of the vent. It is completely just like
Empty.
There's nothing in it.
I thought that was cardboard.
It's clearly something hollow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they gotta, they can't really pull that down.
Of course
on the
not.
sudden,
Yeah.
It's foil.
It's foil.
So I don't want to. So some of the stuff going on here is kind of forgettable,
Mhm.
but I will say the visual of Chris Farley pulling out 2 giant salmon fishes, real fishes, and then wailing on a guy, like come on, that's pretty memorable.
First thing I was like, holy shit, that's impressive. Then I'm just like, that's a waste of food.
Yeah, I actually, younger me was like, oh my god, he's using fish. Older me is like, oh man, I love salmon.
Why are there just 2 whole things of salmon in the middle of the restaurant? Why aren't they
No,
out
he
in
took
the
it off
back?
of a food cart that had I guess it was in the kitchen or something.
Logistics
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
it was just there.
Yeah.
But they were gutted, thank goodness. Like so there's like a couple of pounds of weight missing there.
Yeah.
So it's a lot lighter, but still that's a heavy ass
And
fish.
I'm pretty sure maybe not, but those look like they're probably real fish, right?
Yeah.
And he's just wailing on the guy and it's just going everywhere. It's so simple, but it's a great visual.
Yeah. And the way he does it, like the motions and everything, is just so fluid, and it's fantastic.
Short, it's sweet. I like it.
That's the action scene.
Yeah. There you go.
Are we gonna release this episode on April 1st? Because I feel like I'm missing something here.
I know, I can feel it.
What is happening?
Twilight Zone.
What is happening?
I can feel the disconnect.
I literally do not understand this at all. You guys love this movie.
I know.
One day you'll understand.
I need to rewind time so I can watch this as a kid, because there's clearly a bias here. Man, I mean, yeah, action-wise, that's fight number 1, and then fight number 2 doesn't happen until the very end. Literally the 1/3 mark, and then the end. Right?
Yeah. There's not, unfortunately. So this is a ninja movie, and we
went from talking about no ninja movies to suddenly talking about all these ninja movies.
All these ninja movies coming.
Yeah. Besides this one, okay, for me, I haven't talked anything positive about any ninja movies yet.
Right. So because this is a ninja-esque movie, there are only technically 2 fights, but they use the techniques of ninjutsu throughout the film, at least.
Right.
Well, not correctly, but that is the attempt on Chris Farley's part, and that's where a lot of the dumb comedy comes from.
Oh my god, we are an action podcast, and we've only talked about how the comedy doesn't work for Will. Will doesn't like the comedy. The end. Let's talk about the final action scene.
Sure.
Where there's all the, I guess this is the whole point of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Robin Show and Chris Farley are taking on a whole bunch of henchmen, including I forgot your name, Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero's in the film too, and I love the way that he gets taken out. How can we call it a scissor kick?
Do you want to jump? do you want to jump that far ahead? That's like the end.
I mean, we'll jump around.
Okay, sure. Yeah,
it doesn't matter. None of this matters.
Yeah. So
None of this movie's
upon
matters.
rewatching, unfortunately, the the fights and the fight choreography aren't that memorable. I can definitely.
What made you think it was?
I can clearly say that.
The CGI.
Yeah.
There is CGI in this early on CGI. They made Chris Farley do a split.
Yes, on
Yeah.
2 crates.
It's weird. It looks CGI, but at the same time, it doesn't look like horrible modern CGI. If you know what I mean. There's something about it.
It's I think just because of like you're so focused maybe on the like actual action that's happening, the split on these crates, and this big guy is supposed to do them. I think you're maybe like shocked, and that kind of distracts you from the actual CGI that's happening.
Well, when you watch it, you're definitely like, nope, that's not him.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that.
I don't know. It's more like clean cut. You're right, in a weird way. There's like another scene where there's a car almost hitting a dude, and he's like running and jumping out of the way, but he like sprawls and just nearly misses the car, but it's CGI as he's like falling and belly flopping, and like as he's falling, it like all of a sudden like time starts slowing down. He slowly like a feather just floats down to the floor. It's the weirdest thing.
You guys are crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so my sisters and I watched this a lot when we were younger. I have 2 younger sisters. And for some reason, my youngest sister and I would antagonize my middle sister with jokes of Sally Jones. For some reason, we would always go up to her and be like, Sally Jones.
Did she not like the movie?
No, she liked the movie too. I don't understand why we would do this to her.
What the fuck?
And she would just be like, shut up.
Did she look like
I think
Sally
we're
Jones?
still doing that to this
We
day.
still do it. Yeah, we still do it sometimes. Now I want to do it when I go home and like just annoy her about it. Oh, and one of the other things we would do to her, I don't know why we did this, is when he's doing the Benihana chef stuff, he accidentally burns his face on the grill by bowing, right?
Right.
And then he puts the meat on his face to cool it down. I don't know why, but we would always do that to my middle sister. We would go up to her and be like,
With a real piece of meat, or
no, just fake it. I don't know why we did that. I don't know why. Like we would do that for the longest time, and she would get so annoyed at us for doing it.
That's why she was your middle sister.
Yeah, that's why she's the middle
What is up with my siblings? You're so stupid.
Yeah. Oh man, and I realized it now. In that scene when he's the chef, he introduces himself and he says Ohio konbanwa. Yeah. He's just saying good morning, good evening. Yeah. I didn't realize that when I was younger, but I was like, oh, you doofus. Come on.
That's the comedy of the movie. Yeah.
Yes. He's a moron. It's okay.
Fantastic.
Again, I have no nostalgia for the film, so
No. It's fine. Yeah, that was it. That was all I forgot to say.
Do you remember?
Have any?
No, just I actually you remember the ending scene, like totally at last part of the movie, where he's kind of riding away in the carriage or whatever with his girlfriend, and then no, it's just a comedy thing again. All of a sudden he's just like looking out the window, Chris Farley, and he's like, "Oh, hi, Gobe," and then just turns back, and Gobe's fucking flying through the air, like 300 feet in the air, fucking flying over a cliff, and he's like, "Bro."
So when I looked at this scene, do you think that was a real person who got who got catapulted?
You know,
I don't know, man. Like
it's pretty good.
It looks good.
Yeah.
Look at this.
I know what you're talking about.
It looks good. So if you look at the bottom, he starts slowing down.
Yeah.
That makes me think that that's when he was getting caught on like a wire.
And like all the limbs are moving frantically and all of this shit.
Yeah.
So like
been composited in. That's my guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we do have CGI in the movie. How hard is it to composite in a tiny
so hard
on screen?
So hard. Like my little sword. So hard. Oh, one of the other things my friends and I used to quote too is when Chris Rock drives him into the car wash, he goes, she's like, Joey, you've led us astray. I don't know why we always would quote
All right.
that part.
I don't think it's quotable, but I do think it's funny.
It's not. It's not. Whenever we would go the wrong way, we would always be like, "You've led us astray."
Jesus
It's
Christ.
We watch this movie a lot. Oh my
it's
God.
a subtle reference that, like, if you're not in the immediate know, like, you won't fucking know.
Exactly. It's so stupid, but man, yeah, I
fucking
derive
rest
so
in
much
peace.
joy from the simple comedy of this movie.
One of the moments of comedic value here, when they're all like, what are they? They're testing the strength of their hands as they're punching it into charcoal embers and shit. And then all of a sudden you pan to him and he's fucking grilling shish kebabs on size. Oh my god.
See, that's when the movie started to lose me. And the movie just
And it just
started.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because all the other men are pushing their palms into the hot coals.
Yeah.
And you can see him clearly hovering above. He's not doing it.
Just like, I'm just keeping warm.
Yeah. I know you don't like the movie, Will, but I don't know.
complaining
I
about
just
it. I just don't. I'm like, I want to hear more positives about it so I can understand and put myself in your.
It's all
frame
going to
of
be
mind.
comedy. It's not going to be anything martial arts related at all. There's no historical, like,
Oh my God! Yes, let me try to be the positive one here.
Ooh,
My
sure.
favorite repeating joke of the whole movie is every time they go into the astral plane.
Oh yeah.
You see Chris Farley. Like my favorite part is like when they go in there for the first time and you see like all the students that they have one with the universe. They all settle into space.
They're all
sit
sitting
down.
Indian style.
They all sitting in
perfectly
Indian
still,
style,
yeah.
like all zen like, and you see Chris Farley in the background just flailing his arm like
You can't get a grip of it. Yeah.
like, but it's not like the center of attention. It's like
It's
like,
in the back. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
you can see in the background happening. He's just like, oh, it's like, help me.
That was fucking hilarious. But actually, the joke continues when he finally returns to his body from the astral plane.
Oh, and,
Then
crashes through.
into his body, he comes in, and then all of a sudden, it's like getting hit by a fucking truck.
See, I like that stuff. It is fun the first time, and then that joke gets over. Huh?
Join the dark side.
The joke gets overplayed a little bit as the movie.
They only do it one more time.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's overplayed. It's just one more time. It's fine.
Yeah, sure. Still like it. Chris Farley's incompetent. That's the movie.
That's the movie.
That's
Yeah.
the movie.
I mean, if you ever watch his other stuff, that's his thing. So we kind of got typecasted. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this was written specifically for him,
Mhm.
but they were like, we need some fool.
Right.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. No, like I said before, he didn't actually want to do the movie. Like he wasn't.
Oh,
all that bored.
wasn't this written for Dana Carvey?
Yeah.
I think so.
Imagine with this.
Yeah, this works a lot better with Chris Farley.
We could have watched that Master of Disguise.
I want to watch that. I hear it's pretty bad.
I'm a turtle.
Well, did you watch the movie? Because I think
I've
you're
seen
just
parts
quoting
of
the
it.
trailer.
I only have so much sanity left in my system. I don't think I can sacrifice all that.
Mhm.
All right, Mark, explain to us what the scissor kick is about.
No, I'm good. No. Basically, there's two bad guys lining up trying to get Chris Farley and Robin show, and they're kind of looking as if they're screwed because there's these two powerful OP guys coming for them. And then they look at each other and they look at them, and all of a sudden a song appears. And then my heart started racing because it's a fantastical song.
What song?
It's from Mortal Kombat.
What?
Do you guys really not remember?
No, I
this?
really don't. No.
So
I told you I've watched this movie like 4 times in the past 2 days, and I don't remember anything from the movie.
So I could be wrong. I think I read that the sound composer also did stuff. For
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat. So there's lots of similar notes.
Yeah.
Similar notes is
But
kind of an understatement here. I think they did it on purpose.
You think so?
I do
Well, I mean,
think so.
Robin Show was in Mortal Kombat too, so maybe they were like kind of referencing that as
Yes, but not only that, because there's
Oh
actually
my God, we have
well. What?
we have Liu Kang.
Yes.
We have Liu Kang,
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero, and Bo Raicho, all in the same movie.
Who?
Ah, fuck! I'm such a nerd. You guys don't know.
I don't know.
He's the fat one. Doesn't matter.
Oh, wow.
Womp womp. Joke failed.
Failed.
No, I don't know what song you're talking about.
Seriously?
No,
All
no.
right. We'll have to.
It's
replay this.
it's a musical cue. I know. I think I know. what
And
you're
it
talking
only
about.
lasts like for 5-7 seconds max.
Mhm.
And it's so
because
iconic.
it's got those the drums, right?
Yeah. But once you hear it, you'll be like, that's without a doubt the song from Mortal Kombat, or one of the scores. And it's hard to not see it. That's why when I rewatched it, I never noticed this before.
Mhm.
But rewatching it, I was just like, oh my God. And then just the fact that, like, you know who all the other Mortal Kombat characters are in the movie, you're just like, oh, that's cool.
Oh, I suddenly love this movie now. You totally changed my opinion on this.
This is actually the third Mortal Kombat film.
Oh God.
So yeah, if we're gonna dissect it, it's there's not much to talk about. Yeah, I can clearly see that,
Mhm.
but
We haven't even talked about the scissor kick yet.
Oh,
What
They
is the scissor
duck.
kick?
They both like jump at the same time to kick them, and because both brothers duck, they scissor each other, and they fall to the ground, and bosses are defeated. Okay,
They literally
onward.
they overreach their kicks and their nuts clash
they're
in
not
midair.
crush in midair.
You guys remember South Park?
That was the gong in Mortal Kombat.
Do you guys remember South Park when Mr. Garrison was he met with a bunch of he was at the time a woman and he met with a bunch of lesbians and he just and they're
Oh, and he's like
they're
scissoring.
sexing.
Yeah,
They're sexing and and like Mr. Garrison just screaming in the middle of sexing like, "Whoa, we're scissoring. This is such hot scissoring."
Yeah.
I could not help but feel that way when I was watching this. I'm like, I've never seen that in a movie. Bravo.
see, there you
I've
go.
never seen that. Like this is incredible. Like in terms of action, you will never get another moment where two guys hardcore scissor
In midair. Yeah. They scissor so hard they knock each other out.
Or Robin Show in a wig.
yeah. Robin Show gets his ass handed to him like partway into an earlier part of the movie because it's him versus like 6 people, right?
Yeah.
And then Chris Farley decides I'm going to be awesome all of a sudden. And and then he jumps into fray and he beats up all his people with CGI and stunt doubles. And
But how does he jump into the fray?
he literally does a jumping forward flip.
Wait. So you're saying Chris Farley did that?
Yes, he totally did that. That's totally him. You know, I will say it is totally him when it comes to some of the stunt work.
That's what I
We
wanted
talked about
to
before, yeah.
that's what I wanted to comment on because yes, the fight choreography is pretty simple, but you see it's him. You see him doing a lot of the stuff. And yes, they have to get it in edits because you can't fully do some of the stuff. But when he's doing, spinning hook kicks,
Right.
like they get it in edits, but he's doing it because you see his face. Like that's clearly him doing it. And like that's where I find some of the stuff impressive.
Mhm.
And as a kid too, because when we were young, we know he's the butt of the joke because he's a fat guy. So when I saw this as a kid, I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. He's a bigger guy, but he probably put in a lot of the effort to try to get some of these moves in.
Well, just off the bat, I can name the things that he does in the movie. He does cartwheels.
Mhm.
I mean, they even incorporate into this choreography where
Yeah.
they add sound effects so it looks like he kicked people.
Right. That was one of his things in other films too.
Oh, yeah.
So he could cartwheel,
He's
but
surprisingly good at cartwheeling.
but he can cart. Hey, I've seen normal men who can't cartwheel. So
Are you saying Chris Farley's not normal?
no,
You're telling me it's not normal to
I'm saying he's
speedball?
I'm saying he's going above and beyond what normal men can do.
Right, he can cartwheel.
Mhm.
He can do leg lifts. He in the earlier strip scene where he grabs onto a pull-up bar and he does some leg lifts. I'm like, hey, we can develop a whole workout routine with just Chris Farley moves.
Around cocaine.
Chris Farley did. Nah, fuck it. I'll save it for later. No. I'm trying to be less tasteless.
Sure.
It's pretty impressive that Chris Farley can do most of it, the physical stuff. Like he really commits to it. So bravo to that. However, I don't care.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
He's a firework. I mean, he literally just like short fuse, but it's explosive kind of moves, and it's obviously some things he can't do, but the things he does are impressive.
Okay.
He does run around in circles very well throughout the movie, and quickly, with angst and provocation.
Yeah, again, that comes with it's more physical comedy than it is action.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I mean, it's. I kind of wanted more looking back at it, but I was fine with what we got because it's not a martial arts movie, like I mentioned.
Why the fuck are we talking about this?
It is a movie about a martial art, kind of. Is ninjutsu a martial art? I don't know.
Yeah, no, and ninjutsu is definitely martial art. We talked about 2 other ninja movies before this.
I feel like I
But
keep
that-
questioning that. Like, are those movies incorporating martial ninjutsu correctly? And probably
Probably.
Ninja Assassin is the most accurate.
Probably,
Yeah,
but
even though I don't like that movie.
well, okay, if we're talking about if this movie talks about ninjutsu, no, it actually doesn't. Like,
Well, the joke is he's not doing it correctly.
right, but like what?
Neither
like,
is
even
nobody else.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna say.
Well, that's true as well.
Other people like because Chris Farley, because he's technically not even a ninja. He's like a ninja in training still because he hasn't technically gotten his degree in ninja. He hasn't got his bachelor's
Right.
in ninja. So like
His associate's degree. in ninja.
yeah,
Do you guys remember when we were talking about the Scott Adkins Ninja movie? Someone was complaining that like, why are they having a graduation ceremony? See, this movie had the graduation ceremony. It happens.
Okay,
It happens.
And they got magnificent medallions.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, Jackie Chan.
oh,
nobody
God,
can know.
shut up. No,
Medallion. See what you
God,
did there.
Was it the 16 years happening this year? Ah, fuck. Anyways, so Chris Farley, he clearly doesn't know what he's doing because like later in the movie he's carrying around the sword, but it's a Chinese broadsword. I'm like,
Yes.
you're a ninja.
Robin Show is fucking Chinese.
Yeah. And then I think I'm pretty sure his sensei is Korean.
Yeah, he is. He is.
So it's just well, this is the early night.
What did I say about before about racial sensitivity?
Right.
Like,
Doesn't
take that all back.
Well,
take that all back.
Yeah. Well, this is the early '90s. Basically, like, oh, you're Asian, you can be cast in this blank movie.
I'm glad we didn't have that problem in the 2000s. Meanwhile,
no.
Memoirs of a Gay Show is all Chinese people.
Oh, of course.
By the way, that just reminded me. Do you remember when he whips out the scroll and he's talking about like his prophecy, his whole like legend or whatever? And the first thing he reads is like, "Oh, this one is about my prophecy. Oh no, this is the one about the sensei with the 2 geishas." Or whatever. He goes on and on. I literally started laughing hysterically because I missed that completely.
I am totally missing it right now. I don't want to even as you're explaining it. I
Because you don't
understand.
get that shit when you're like a kid, and then
Yeah.
like there's
No, I get that too.
multiple levels
There's
to this
clearly
movie.
a bias because you guys have
There's
same
there's like
nostalgia.
the children jokes, there's like the high school jokes,
Mhm.
and then there's like the adult just fucking like nuanced, very nuanced,
Mm.
extremely hidden jokes in there.
Am I in the Twilight Zone?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something? I don't
Like
understand what's
so
happening.
when they're I guess when they're exposed to the hallucinogen mushrooms later, I didn't realize that there was a lot of the sex jokes.
See,
there,
yeah,
too.
yeah.
see that scene with Will Sasso when he goes to the guy from Mad TV when
Yeah.
he basically another he goes to another funny fat man
Mhm.
halfway
Right.
through the movie. I thought that scene was pretty funny.
And then
'cause,
he
like
likes the funny fat man
See,
to,
like-
to take his word.
yeah, that's totally what happened. Because he basically takes up his persona after that.
Oh my god, he's Kirby.
There's funny in that.
You know, it's funny you say that. Like, I hated that scene.
What? What?
Yeah, I was like, no, you can't have two funny fat men in the movie. Like, I hated.
Breaking all the rules.
Yeah, I hated his character. But then when he takes on his persona, I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of funny.
Yeah,
That's where I didn't find it funny. What are you talking about?
I honestly have to agree with Sue.
What is up? What is happening right now? We cannot disagree anymore.
Oh man.
Oh my god! Like I thought it was funny when they were all laughing hysterically.
No, there was too much tongue action going on there for me.
Oh God, I'm clearly missing out.
So what I was getting at is I didn't realize all the sexual innuendos he was saying. He's like, "Oh, I just wanted to climb the
Oh, the
temple."
temple! I
and
hated that
peek
shit.
in."
What is fuck is happening right now? We cannot disagree anymore. I hated that.
And she does his face. She's like, no. Like,
Pretty much.
maybe next time, but no.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, the actress was like, "Can we rewrite the script? I don't want to touch him
Oh,
anymore."
it's projected through her acting
Oh,
so much.
God, yeah.
She's like almost monotone throughout the whole entire movie.
Yeah, basically. She's
Yeah.
like you can clearly tell she's like, is my paycheck here yet? I
Yeah.
don't want to do this anymore. Like he literally throws cocaine in my face every time he talks.
At first, you're like, maybe she's like this femme fatale character.
No,
like,
no.
no.
She
Like
has no
all the way.
character.
No, in the beginning, like literally just when she's introduced and she's in Japan with him. And you're like, well, maybe something mysterious about this woman, and then she just kind of acts the same way throughout the movie. And like, even when she's in danger, she's just like complacent. She's about to die. There's like 30 seconds left. Complacent, like monotone fucking voice. Like, okay, cool.
I don't know what else to add to this. I
mean, that's
I can't-
okay.
There's only so many ways I can say I didn't find it funny.
Yeah, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I mean, we could wrap it up.
Yeah,
if
man,
you want.
yeah, sure.
I mean, unless you want us to keep
I'll
debunking you.
Yeah, we can
You could if you want.
keep going.
I'll start because no. Should I end? Whoever
you're
has
okay.
last say feels like it has more finality to it.
All right.
I don't. Fuck.
All right, you can go last then.
No. I don't know how to fucking do this.
We'll just go. I mean, we
No,
know
because
you're.
right.
We kind of know your.
I'm a
opinion.
poo-pooer. I poo all over this.
Mhm.
I didn't like it. Like there's too many. I can't like say add anything new to what I've already been saying. I didn't find it varied enough with the comedy. I'm not a fan of physical comedy, like on a pure level. Like it needs to be varied with other things.
Mhm.
And if you're gonna have physical comedy, I want to see other kinds of styles in there as well. So I got kind of tired of the movie because it was almost like 96% just pure Chris Farley's gonna get hurt.
Mhm.
And I was
Or Robin Show getting hurt.
but that was where it was funny for some reason to
Yeah.
me. I don't know.
Mhm.
But like at first I appreciated it, but it gets stale after a while. I can understand how it'd be funny on an SNL skit, but like an entire 90-minute movie really starts to wear me down. And there are some moments I do like about the movie, but I'm not gonna watch this movie ever again. I'm glad we're done with this. All right, you guys start talking great things about it while I go imagine myself watching a better film. Oh, and also the action. No, don't watch it on YouTube. Don't just like what's the point? What is the point? What is the point of watching the action scenes? Because they're not spectacular in any ways. This movie's I don't even know why we're talking about it because it's not known for the action at all. And that was the whole point of our podcast, right?
What if like the action was compiled into a clip, but all the actual action is only 2 minutes long? You wouldn't even recommend it then?
There are Led Zeppelin songs that are longer than all the action in this movie.
That's true.
That's it. That's all I gotta say. All right, you guys start talking great things about this film and why I'm completely wrong.
Okay.
Someone, anybody. Mark.
I mean, what else can we say besides everything that we've already kind of stated?
Pretty much, yeah.
Guys, I think you guys have the same opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
almost exact.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. We've never been this much on board. Like,
Yeah, we're very succinct right now.
You guys definitely have nostalgia blindness.
You know what?
I'm gonna say it. I don't know. I don't.
Right.
I feel like if you were in my boat, can you imagine yourself still liking it? Because I've never seen a Chris Farley movie at all.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Yeah.
I've mentioned this, and we've talked about this many times. Like, I feel that it's hard to go backwards in comedy because everything is always derived from something previously.
Mhm.
And if you don't like physical comedy now, like, why are you going to like physical comedy like going backwards? So,
Right.
so there you go. That's kind of where this is stemming from, right?
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's fair.
So,
that's fair to say.
And it's not like we can convince you that this is a good movie because I think you just don't like this type of movie.
Yeah, no,
So-
I don't know. That's
Yeah, so
you
I
don't
don't-
have to convince me at all.
Yeah, I'm not, and I don't want to try to convince you. We're just we're in conflicting opinions. I think it's just really funny that like everything you kind of say, we're just like,
It's just
"No,
like
it's great.
yeah, like fuck you, it's awesome.
I'm not gonna poo-poo your idea, but I'm wondering how much of this is actually stemming from nostalgia.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious
Yeah.
because I know that I like this movie a lot because I watched it, and so I liked it when I was younger,
Mhm.
and I can still appreciate this kind of comedy now.
Right.
But it's also because I don't really see too much of this kind of comedy now. It's not really
You
something
can
that
watch a Kevin James film.
does Kevin James crash through walls and
Yes,
tables?
that's
Does he
all
really?
his movies.
No.
He
It's not
falls
the
on
sa- it's not the
segways.
same.
Yeah, I feel like
It's not the same.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, but there's a difference of delivery.
That's
when it
what-
comes
yeah.
To,
Mhm.
no.
Yeah.
That's I will say Chris Farley does it well, for sure. However, it's the same joke.
Yeah, well,
the same joke
yeah,
over and over.
I can definitely give you that. He's perfected the one joke, which is him crashing through something and kind of hurting himself, and
Mhm.
that's like where his comedy is derived from. But I don't know, kind of find it funny.
I feel like Kevin James, when he does these comedic moments, these skits or stunts in a film, it's almost like when I see his face in my mind, I'm just like, he smiles too much. Like, if that makes any sense. It's like you said, delivery, right? So he's Chris Farley's like stone faced. He's kind of doing his thing, and he's like very serious about it, as if like he's not being phased by it.
It's almost as
But-
if he's loaded up with coke.
Oh, almost,
Yeah.
no emotion, no. Emotion.
There's a joke in there
Just
somewhere.
pure
I don't know where it
adrenaline.
is.
No, but like Kevin James, just I don't know. I feel like he does his thing, and then he just like smiles and does like this derpy kind of
Yeah, I see where you're going. with
yeah.
this, yeah.
And that is like a huge turnoff when it comes to a comedy skit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't want you to end with that. Like stay committed all the way to
Like
the
you,
end.
like you feel like he's like kind of mugging for the camera.
Yeah,
Mugging. That's a good way to
Yeah,
describe
yeah.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
and that really throws me off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think the delivery for Chris Farley is so much better.
Yeah, yeah,
and
no, for
holds
sure.
it all together.
You're right. It's telling the same joke, however, delivery is completely different.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree there. And like, even though again, not a Chris Farley aficionado, but I can see where like it's funny, and then after the 50th time, like I get it. Can I watch something else now?
Right.
Do you anything else you want to add? Because you guys clearly have the same exact
Yeah,
opinion on this movie.
So yeah, as like if you want to watch like kind of a dumb comedy, I recommend it. This is like you can show this to your kids, and maybe that would be a nice gateway for them for maybe better martial arts movies because it's a kids movie.
You have to
right?
think from a kid's perspective. Yeah.
I'm thinking of it like that. Like, hey, do you like this movie? It's a comedy with martial arts, and like, oh, cool, I like those moves.
Like, you could watch like Ninja Turtles
No,
or Power Rangers. For
no,
that.
no. See, so like, there's this.
We were talking about that when
there-
we did the Power Rangers episode.
There's this genre that does like. I'll use the example of horror because I think it's best explained in horror. There's horror movies that are just complete crap and are not scary, but they're meant for children. And then there's the adult horror films that are legitimately scary, but there's like no transition. There's no movie that really or genre of horror films that is the transition for like, pre or teens or just tweens or kind of like that middle ground.
Between comedy and action.
No. I'm just talking about horror and this
okay,
translates into comedy as well, or any kind of
You need a
genre.
gateway. You need a gateway
Right,
movie.
correct.
Okay.
So you need a gateway kind of film, and I think this is a good gateway film to be from like literally cartoon turtles to like, okay, now I'm gonna watch, I don't know, Game of Death or some shit like that.
I cannot understand what you just said. I don't understand this. Literally, you could just watch like Double Dragon and you'd get more out of it than this.
No.
All right, that's it. That's
Right.
the
Okay,
opinion.
so I recommend the movie as a comedy. I think it's still fun.
Yeah.
For me, it still holds up. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, you don't need to watch the fights on YouTube because there's not that many. But like if I mentioned earlier, like you see Chris Farley doing it, so I definitely have appreciation for the fact that he's doing this stuff because he's a bigger guy. He's not. He was a physical comedian, but he's not known to do martial artsy type of thing. So I appreciate him on that aspect.
Ditto.
Oh God, you know, Chris Farley was so upset with the end result of this movie that he was like, "I'm never gonna do another one of these movies ever again." And considering that was his last movie,
Was this actually his last movie? Man.
Well, this was
considering this is his last movie, I mean, he got his wish.
Ugh.
Well, he died in '97. This was released in. Well, he died in late '97, December, I think. And then this was released in January of '97. Well, you know what they say. An artist sometimes doesn't truly understand his own greatness. So, you know, this movie.
We're talking about Beverly Hills Ninja.
Sorry, Will. I love this movie.
Oh my God. Could have talked about Beverly Hills Chihuahua. It'd be more of a martial arts movie.
There's probably subtle references to like kung fu and shit in it.
Probably.
I wouldn't be surprised. I bet there's a Beverly Hills Ninja reference in Beverly Hills Chihuahua. We should watch that movie.